All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a few skills that we have to have. And to do what John Hackleman politely called the Dillard Shuffle, okay, but I call it a punching system. And the system, it's a system of punching, just like it's a style of punching, just like your left hook is part of your system of punching. Ours is just a little bit different, and the goal here is to incorporate 4 types of power. The first power is arm extension, okay? The second is rotation, body rotation. The third, forward body momentum going forward. And the fourth is Newton's third law: for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. So when this hand comes back, that one comes out, etc. And by the way, Newton's law is not for every action there's an almost equal reaction. There is actually an equal reaction. So it really matters if I pull this hand back when I'm punching with the other one. Okay. Those 4 types of power have got to be incorporated into this punch, or what you've given up from throwing a haymaker. I can get that power. That's a powerful punch. A haymaker, a left hook, okay, a right overhand, those are all powerful punches. And it's great. The problem is I can't hit a seasoned fighter with those under normal circumstances. If I've got him already beat up, maybe. If I've got him on the run, maybe. If he's just so tired he can't react, maybe. But I won't be able to hit someone like Kurt with an overhand right, or this one. He's gonna block that virtually every time. I've got to hit him. I want my goal is to hit him first. Okay, it's very simple. Hit him first, hit him hard, get him moving backward on his heels, and lay into him. At the end of the series, at the end of this, and this, then I throw my left hook, which I really believe in, and John Hackleman made me a believer in it. But from my old boxing days, I noted that it seemed like 80 or 90% of the fights, of the knockouts in the fights, were left hooks. The right opened them up, the left knocked them out. So that wasn't a very hard sell for me, but I like the way John Hackleman puts it. Okay, so there's going to be certain skills we have to make this work. First skill, I want to establish forward body momentum. I'm going to do it with, don't follow me because we're getting out of camera. I'm going to do it with a low round kick. Okay, I mean, it could be a medium round kick. It can be to the thigh, the groin, or the body. Okay, it can be high. The problem with high is, for most of my students, when they kick higher and lean back. Yeah, see how he leaned back? I mean, he's demonstrating here. He leans back. Well, when he leans back, he's got to come back up before he can punch. So I don't want him to lose any body control during the kick. It's just kick and punch. Okay. Now, so first skill, you got to be able to step up and round kick. I mean, and that's pretty much very simple for everybody. But if I step halfway up, I still don't reach him. Okay? And I've just telegraphed that I'm coming. Okay? I mean, when he sees my first body, hip, or shoulder movement, he knows I'm on my way. It's just that simple. So I step full and kick and out. Okay? Full step to match his. He's going to make about a half step backward, but I still reach him. Okay? All I care about on that kick, you know, I haven't knocked anybody out with a kick in a long time. Okay? But it establishes my forward body momentum. I've got to get my body moving forward. I weigh about 210. I want to hit him with 210. I don't want half the weight going this way, like that, when I kick. Okay? And I don't have to wait for my body to come back up before I can punch. Just establish forward body momentum. That's one way to do it. Okay? When I kick, you got to watch the foot. When I kick, the foot comes down and pulls me forward. Okay, it leaves a skid mark. Okay, a lot of people, they're going to kick, plant, and punch. I don't plant that foot. It just comes down and it's rotating. It's rotating like a tire. And when it hits the ground, it leaves a skid mark, rotating tire. So here, pulls me forward. Okay, pulls me forward into the punching position. If I don't do that, I'm not going to have good forward body momentum. If I don't have good forward body momentum, I've missed one of the 4 pillars, if you will, of power. Okay? Got to have forward body momentum. Second, skills you've got to have. Good body rotation, all right? Good body rotation. Good is perfect. Too much body rotation, at this point, I've got too far to come. If you imagine there's a circle around me, and my shoulders are tangent to that circle, all right? When they rotate forward, I can reach farther as they're rotating forward. But as they reach the 90-degree mark here, my shoulder's going that way, I'm getting more body rotation, but I'm not getting more reach, so it's no good for me. Okay. What?
You don't get any more extension.
Right, I don't get any more extension, I don't get any more reach. Okay. So from here, I'm gonna come here and get good body rotation only to the extent that I'm getting more reach out of it. Too much just takes me this way, makes it hard for me to throw the second hand. Yeah. When I have a student that goes like this, I always point out to him, I could be standing on your toe and you still can't reach me, okay? You've got to have right body rotation. You've also got to bend the front knee forward, okay? If this knee goes here, moves from here to here, and that's me moving forward. That's part of the foot making that skid mark, okay? And the leg, understand this, the leg, step in your stance here, okay? Now lean back. This leg's not strong here. It's too straight, okay? Lean forward. It's done all its work already here. It's time to switch to the other leg. Take a step, okay? And let the other leg do the work, okay? But somewhere in this range, between here and here, that leg's strong, okay? It's strong like if I say, bend my arm, okay? See, I'm not strong when it's straight, but somewhere in this range, I can actually hold him, okay? If I get too low, you can actually push my arm towards me if you want, okay? It's the same thing with your leg. It's got to be in the range of motion of the knee, okay? And I'm going straight forward on that knee. I'm going to run over there and kick his ass, okay? I never jog over there and kick his ass. I've never heard that one in the street. Or in the John Hackleman terms, I'm going to run over and take his lunch money, okay? We've all seen this, and most of us have done this exercise. Okay, great. It's just an exercise. It has very little relevance to punching. But if you do it like this hand's halfway out, then switch. Halfway out, switch. Halfway out, switch. Halfway out, switch. And this is the way they do it in an old Korean style called subak do. It's one of the early Korean styles. Halfway out and switch. Halfway out and switch. Why is that important? Because halfway out, I'm starting to hit him. Okay? And I'm not hitting him at the beginning of the punch. So pulling this back in the beginning of the punch doesn't help any. I need it at the end when I'm actually making contact here, and this is the equal and opposite reaction. Works both ways. Okay? All right, so skill. Here, rotating the legs is skill, all right? Body rotation is a skill. So arm extension, okay? Let me point out, from here, okay? At this point, I can just bend my arm, step into fighting stance, and I'll be fine. This is a good enough stance. I call this traditional guard, okay? I call this reverse guard. This is boxing guard. I use all three. But from here, one of the problems I see students have is they want to put their hand back here. Well, you don't need that. The hand needs to be as close to the opponent as you can. Okay, we're going to get plenty of power from the four kinds of power that we mentioned. I'll say it one more time. Forward body momentum, body rotation, arm extension, equal and opposite reaction. So from here, it starts here and punch. If I have a student and they're like this, I have them point this way. Their opponent's over there, they're pointed this way. That means they're going to hook their punch. They're going to hook it just to get it around their body. They need the hand to point right at the opponent. They take that finger and make a fist, but here and punch, okay? Skill number two, maybe, or one of the skills, you've got to set up right. You've just got to set up right. If you're standing there like this, or like this too much, you've limited your technique so much. There's so many things you can't do with those stances, okay? I see a circle around me, okay? And if you cross that circle, I can hit you, all right? I can make it a different shape by assuming different stances. If I'm a little lower, it becomes an egg shape, an oval from here, okay? Now I'm stretched it out a little bit. I can hit him from farther, all right? And one of the exercises we do, by the way, is to point out that I can back fist this far. That's about as far as I can back fist in this stance. I can still punch farther. So which reaches farther, your jab or your right? Go try it against the wall. Your right hand reaches farther than your jab. It's just all there is to it. It has to do with body mechanics. This is as far as I can reach. If I can punch that far, I can get over this leg farther with the reverse punch because I pulled my right shoulder forward and changed my balance. Okay. Second skill, next skill. Hardest skill is move the hand first. Move the hand first. And as John Hackleman pointed out, that's really not as important when we're this close together. But when he's at punch at the far side of my punch, okay, I've got to move my punching hand first. Let's turn it around. I've got to move my punching hand first, okay, or because you'd be dumb, okay. I'm gonna move my punching hand first, okay, to get the drop on him. If I move my body first, he'll see it coming and he'll counter or he'll run, okay. If I take a breath, he'll see it. I mean, if my eyes get big, he'll see it. If my feet move first, if I take a preliminary step, he'll see it, okay? I've got two ways I attack. One is a purposeful step with a front kick, a round kick, followed by a reverse punch, and two, and that could be a front kick, but two, just explode from the start, okay, and punch. Incredibly important. If I do anything telegraphic, the seasoned, the good fighter will see it and counter in a heartbeat, okay? It's just no advantage there. So here's the skill. You got to be able to punch with your arm moving first. Arm first, then body. Arm first, body. Arm first, body. And I have really good black belts that come to us and I say, arm first, then body. Arm first, then body. Arm first, then body. Arm first, then body. Now you do it. And they go like this. That's not arm first. That's body first. So, and the way we practice it, A, we use our cameras, and B, we use the mirror. So we line up in front of the mirror, we look in the mirror, and we watch our hand move first. Okay? That's the first way we test it. The second way we test it is put your hand up and block this. Okay? If he can block me, okay, if he can block that punch, I'm giving it away. But if I just stand here, okay, I touched him then. Okay? Here, if I move my arm first, he won't read it, he won't be able to block it. If I move my body first, he can grab my hand every single time. So hit me. Okay? Yeah. See, a little more hand first. Almost. Okay. Good job. He's being dumb for the camera. He can really do this. Okay. So from here, next skill. Be able to punch with your thumb down. Okay. It's not for every punch. It's not for every blitz. But when I punch with my thumb down, it rotates my anterior deltoid or my lateral deltoid, and it protects my face because this guy will counter with the hook. Okay. And I want to be there. So here, I punch frequently like that. It's just one of the options. I punch a lot to the body, and I double up ass because he can only block one space at a time. Try not to give it away with my eyes. Okay? I'm here looking at him in the eye and punching him in the nose. Does not work. Okay? I've got to look down, punch up. Look up, punch down. Okay? Kick. That's simple faking, but it's fairly effective. So there we are. We put this together. It looks like this. Boom, and punch. Boom, punch. Okay? The hands got to move first. The hands got to move first. When does the hand start moving? It starts moving while the foot's still in the air. Okay? So you're standing like this. It's time to punch. Right? Very simple. There. Okay? And if all fails, hopefully he's tied up blocking the kick while I'm punching. Okay? If I do it wrong, if I kick and then punch, he will just counter punch me, and it's just, he dies, I die, but I still die. okay? That's what we call it around here. We prefer to just win. Okay, so having said that, can we lead with the back fist? Yes. Or a jab? Yes, we can. When we do that, we get a better feel for the equal and opposite reaction power. Here, switch. Okay. Here, switch. Okay. Switch. But you have to feel this hand move first. If they move at the same time, you're wasting some of that power. I don't want to expend the equal and opposite reaction power when I'm not hitting him yet. I want it to be at the end. I pull hard back, I punch hard out. It's very important. And remember, I said it's equal in opposite reaction, not almost equal. You get that much more on the end of your punch if you do it right. And so when am I expending that energy? At contact and penetration. The punch has three parts. One, the approach, the contact, and the penetration. Let's go back to kicking a little bit. Here, remember, we want to run over there and beat him up. Okay? We're sprinting. The number one injury for sprinters is pulled hamstring, okay? This leg has to pull when it hits, okay? This leg is going to, typically, this leg slides up, I throw a second punch, okay, with this leg, and then bliss from there and hook at the end, okay? When do I hook? Well, I hook when I'm close enough to hook, right? Because this punch is at the end, at the end, at the end. Now I'm close enough to throw the hook. Go for it, okay? Why? Because 90% of the knockouts are hooks, maybe 80%, but a lot are hooks, left hooks. Okay? So the footwork is important. The knot in my belt has to go forward as it rotates, okay? Does power start from the hips? Yes. It really starts from the legs. What we're doing here is the same. It's a system, just like you have a system in your punches with your left hook. But I'm going to let the legs do the work that would have been done by my body doing the heavy rotation. So we're going to get some rotation, but my legs are doing the work by driving us forward. If I don't use that leg power, I'm not going to punch hard enough. If I don't have good body rotation, I'm not going to punch hard enough upon execution of the technique. Got to deepen the knee, tells me I'm getting forward body momentum. Rotation, and then extension. Arm extension, arm extension. I mean, it seems redundant, but I have to tell, especially the ladies and the kids, you got to do knuckle push-ups. We're not going to tape your hands for every day in practice. We do it for every fight, but we got to have the wrist, and I want a line between the knuckles, the wrist, and the elbow that doesn't give. It can't go like this. It can't go like that. It has to drive forward. Okay? And it needs to be automatic. Of course, here, this hand goes up for protection against his hard right. So when we fight, it looks kind of like this. Okay? And here, okay, and I'm here. I straddle his leg. That way, if he runs to the rear, I've got him blocked. If he runs this way, I can run faster than he can, backward. I go a lot with that. I want to run faster than he can backward. Now, who doesn't this work on? I have a real hard time with my son Michael, who you met, because he's a better boxer than I am, and when I punch, he is suddenly over here, okay, or he's over here, and I'm a freight train going that way. So it's not for everybody every time. When I have trouble with a fighter like that, I usually check their leg, okay, I check it here or here, okay, and I just don't want him moving. So I check and do the same things. Constantly keeping my shoulders above my hips, my head above my hips also. And the theory there is that there's little hairs in your ears. I mean, you know this as a nurse, sir. But this is the balance, okay? As long as my head's above my hips, I'm in pretty good balance. I'm good. When I start swinging my head around like this, it has to work in a three-dimensional manner. It has to go around and up and down and sideways. And that is not, it's not going to be good balance. I want to keep my head above my hips. Do I occasionally lean into a punch? Yeah. Sometimes I do a little bit of this. But keep those hips in concert with your hearing, which is in your ears. So center of balance here, center of weight and mass here, center of balance in the ears. Okay, what else?
You take that, leaning that back leg is coming up.
Okay. Okay. One more thing. When the sprinter comes out of the starting blocks, his feet are not pointed this way. They're pointed that way. Okay. He doesn't have one foot this way and one foot that way. Okay. To the extent that it's feasible, I want my feet to be quite a bit forward. Now, there's a problem here, and the problem is when he round kicks low, okay, I need to be able to rotate as a form of blocking. And sometimes that's a good deal for me. So he kicks, I rotate. So I've got to get a little angle on my foot. If both feet are straight ahead, this isn't working. You can front kick me and nail me every time. Okay? So we're here, low stance, okay? Hand moves first, hand moves first, hand moves first. When is that not important? John Hackleman taught me. When we're this close, it doesn't matter. I can move my body at the same time. But when I'm going to get him at arm's length, the hand moves first, or I won't hit him. One more skill. First move, first form in this system we've been teaching here, chunji. Here, 1, 2. Okay, the first move is get in position, it's down block. The second move, it's exactly what we're doing. We're here, pull with the front leg, pull with the front leg. This back leg's already so extended that it's not going to do anything. It just doesn't do anything. Pull with the front leg, here. We call this pull with the front leg, okay? It's front leg pull. The secondary type of footwork we use is step drag, or some people call it badap, but step drag, okay? I think that's inferior footwork. There's a place for it, okay? Depends on what I'm going to do. If I can get the guy to set with me, here, I'm fine just attacking, okay? If he's bouncing around too much, or if he's moving, I frequently have to take a step drag. I still try to move my hand as early in the technique as possible. I mean, it's just the key element. I can't say enough. Move the hand first. Move the hand first. It'll be halfway to your opponent before he even knows you're attacking. He will key off of shoulders, hips, or body. It's like the running back in the NFL. You know, he's got the ball. You're going to tackle him. You can look at his feet. You can look at his hands. You can look at his head. You can't tell where he's going to go. Watch his numbers. Watch the center of his body. Where those numbers go, he's going to go. So if he's going right, you can or not. You can follow it or not. So from here, he gets the idea I'm coming. When my body starts to move is when he reacts. Okay. When I want to fake, I move my body early. And he reacts. Yeah, he's supposed to react. Okay. And he reacts. Okay. And that's head. It's not head. It's shoulders, hips, and body, or trunk of the body. From here, he reacts because my hip moves. He does not care what my legs do. He doesn't care what my arms do. He really doesn't care much what my eyes do, although I use that when I can. He doesn't care what all this is, but this will make him react. And every time. I only need about a half second. But if I can tense him up for a half second, I can attack in that next half second. Right. It's that simple. We call it, Joe Louis called it broken rhythm. Some people call it start-stop. It's not, be clear, there's not much difference between start, stop, and go and faking. They both are designed to tense the opponent, okay, and to confuse his reflexes. I mean, Kurt will stand here, and he knows I'm coming, because it's the only thing I know how to do, okay? And he puts his hand up, and he's sitting there. I know what's going through his mind. He thinks, when he moves, I'm punching. When he moves, I'm punching. And this is the game we play. Yeah, so it works real good. We trade punches a lot. When I want to beat him, I fake. Yeah, I got you. See, he gets that. I get that half second because I just faked a little bit, okay? Other thing I teach the students to do, I want them to shuffle their feet. Now, it doesn't help me much to shuffle my feet. It just screws him up. You know, he just doesn't know what to watch. So the feet are shuffling. Now, this works real good the first minute of the fight. By the third minute, it looks more like flat feet. But we try. You know, we train for it. So a little foot shuffle, okay? And we're here. You notice every time I step to the outside of his leg, straddle it so I can chase him if he tries to get away from me.